and welcome to SF Live TV. I'm your host, Christina Marie. Tonight we're going to talk about bringing some play into your relationship. We're talking about role play. What is it? And to give us an idea and speak with us this evening, we have Dr. Gabriele Hoff. Welcome back, Dr. Gabriele Hoff. Nice to have you again.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Very good. So, role play. Could you explain a little bit about what role play is?
Role play is interactive theater, and it can be erotic, so that we'll call that erotic role play, where people take erotic roles to spice up their relationship, or it could be just what you do at carnival or dressing up, going out, or costume parties.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it different than the typical dressing up for carnival? I mean, is this something that somebody really needs to have in their relationship and might need to speak to their significant other about including it?
Well, let's stay more with the erotic role play then,
Okay.
because going out to a costume party or carnival is not necessarily erotic, but it can be fun. But erotic role play definitely helps spicing up a relationship by, if both partners are interested in doing it, dressing up or not, taking scenarios, taking different roles, creating an interactive theater that has erotic content to both of them.
Now, how does one partner, let's say one partner has stumbled across this somewhere and decided, this might be for me. How do I bring this to my significant other? And is there an easy way to do this that maybe the other person might freak out, because you're afraid of maybe that happening?
Yeah, there could be a fear of embarrassment and shame, that you bring it up and your partner starts to call you a freak.
Okay.
That would not be very enjoyable.
Which is never good. I would never suggest that.
No. But Halloween or costume parties might be a good start, where you can experiment a little bit with dressing up, and then maybe later on saying, honey, I really enjoyed this costumes we had on. Can we not do that at home sometimes and combine it with our erotic lovemaking and our personal life?
Now, that's interesting that you say that, because I noticed in Halloween and costume parties how some of the most meek, quiet people, when they put on a costume, are wild and crazy and out there, and you're like, is that Jane? That's amazing. Does it allow you to have a freedom that maybe you don't allow yourself, or maybe take a vacation from yourself, like we were saying before?
Yes, definitely. The average person is a little bit stuck in their roles. We play roles all the time. There's, let's say, a woman. She may be playing the role of the mother. She may be playing the role of the professional at work. She may be playing the role of the girlfriend. So there's role play there, but it's not very conscious, and it certainly isn't erotic usually. But to consciously put on an outfit, outfits help only because they enhance a role and make you look different, and that gives you more permission to act differently. But taking a role can be very liberating and brings out the best in people, maybe sometimes the worst.
Okay. I would think that in going back a little bit, you said that people play roles all the time. When you're out dating, maybe somebody new, and you get this outfit that you usually wouldn't wear, or some lingerie or something like that, that's in a little way role-playing, because it's not who you are just on an everyday thing. So that's kind of taking a step towards what this is.
Exactly. Or it could even be, I'm going to make a nice meal for my partner, and I'm going to put on a sexy outfit and an apron on top, and I'm playing the sexy cook. There's role play. Or dressing up.
Or just the apron and nothing underneath.
Well, that's a role play.
Okay.
So role play comes on a spectrum. It can be from anything that we cover to very intense role play, where they may play master and slave and mean it. There has to be a certain sense of being with the role. Just like a good actress, if you're not a good actress, it looks like you're standing beside yourself and pretending to be something. Good role play, you have to feel it, you have to like it. And not everybody likes it.
No, they may not like it. Maybe they think they're not good at it. Maybe they think that the people are going to laugh because they can't do the role believably. Does it have more to do with how well you can act, or is it more so how much you get into it?
Both and more. It is just not for everybody. There are some perfectly fine people who just don't like to role play. They find it ridiculous. It doesn't turn them on. not them doing it, not anyone else doing it, they're just not into it. Not everybody's into it. But a lot of people could benefit from experimenting with it a little bit, and maybe a little bit more, because it gives you a big range of new roles and activities, costumes and outfits, and the sky is the limit.
So in that case, it would add variety, definitely, to your relationship. So what is it that one feels, if they do enjoy role play, what is it, the sense that they get from it? Is it a sexual feeling? Is it a feeling of freedom? I mean, what do they get from this?
Well, if it goes well, it should be erotic, and they should get sexual pleasure from it. Sense of freedom, and it's interactive theater, as I said earlier. So the people really taking off with role play may start a little bit and then spontaneously and intuitively go here and there with it, with a partner, and it becomes something that wasn't even planned, but it's fun and it's great. And if it doesn't feel like fun, there needs to be a nice way out of it, which is not that difficult to do.
Which brings up the question, what if it goes wrong? Something goes wrong, how does one stop the play effectively?
If it goes wrong, it would be that one person just doesn't feel comfortable, maybe both. That they had good intentions, we'll play role, we'll play I'm the king and you're the queen, and we're having a nice dinner, and then I'm going to bed you. But somehow it doesn't feel right. The king suddenly starts to feel self-conscious and uncomfortable. And as communication is a good building block in any relationship, hopefully he can say, you know what, honey, let's try another time. I can't really get into it right now. Let's just have a nice dinner and take it from there. So there needs to be a way out, and it's often, it can make people feel very embarrassed. Just like acting, if you are not a good actress or actor or inexperienced, there's this great fear of failing, of being ridiculous, and a lot of people don't like being ridiculed or feeling ridiculous and shamed. So that's what the hindrance of role play can be.
Now, do you think that this only involves costuming? Because you were speaking earlier about, when we were talking before, about just more like in the mind. And so it wouldn't necessarily have to be a whole different outfit or persona. It could just be a game. Could you give us an example of something that may not include costumes, but just be a role play?
When people are comfortable with role playing, and there is someone else who's comfortable, it can be very intuitive and spontaneous. It may have a power differential in it, for instance, one being more taking a top role and the other more a pleasing bottom role. And it may come out of nowhere. Both people may be nude, or both people may be in their regular outfits, but they are moving towards erotic play, and it doesn't necessarily need costumes, although costumes can enhance the role. I don't want to get into very specifics here because of this type of the show, but there would be, I could give a few examples.
Sure, yeah. Why don't we have an example of something on the very light, like an introductory to role play, something that could be very mild, and then to what the extreme it could go.